Hello, I'm the Diabetic Walker and welcome back to my channel. Also the Diabetic Walker. So we're out again today in my favourite place in the world, the New Forest. So once again, I caught the train out here, got off the train in Brockenhurst, and on the way in I was looking out the windows and noticed the amount of water, amount of surface water. I knew it was going to be wet, but yeah, I started to get a little bit worried. We've had 2 days of very heavy rain from Storm Chandra, which has swept right across the country. Here in Hampshire we've actually got off pretty light. Down the southwest, Dorset, Somerset, Devon and Cornwall, they've had it really bad. But the storm petered out a bit by the time it got to here in Hampshire. There are some still pretty big puddles about, as you can probably tell. So I haven't taken any chances today. I've got my best boots on and I'm wearing waterproof socks. Yes, they are a thing. And yes, they do work to a certain extent. Nothing worse than getting wet socks and having to walk in them. It's not good. So those of you who are regular viewers to the channel, you may recognise this as a path that I said I would never take again. This is Black Knoll. And guess what? We're back on it again. It is, however, the best way to get out into the forest and head towards where we're going today, which is Lyndhurst. So we're doing a circular route from Brockenhurst station, which was about a mile back there, into the forest here, across Black Knoll, into Lyndhurst. We'll have a little look around there. That is the capital of the New Forest, so we should pay it some attention really. And then, as I say, we'll head back then on the other side of the main road. I think it's the Beauty Road, so we get some different views over that way. We've been there before when we done the 20-mile hike back in last August. Yeah, get some nice views there, so that'll be worth waiting for. When I left Brockenhurst station, my sugar levels were 13.6. It's going to be quite a decent walk today. Good 10 or 12 miles, I would have thought. I haven't actually planned it out, but I would imagine it's going to be around 10 or 12 miles. Didn't take any insulin this morning because it is a decent walk, and just had a small bowl of cereals. So I approached Boulderfoot Bridge back there. The river had burst its banks, and it was probably 8-10 inches deep, I guess, so that's come over the top of my boots. And I can report the socks are doing the business. My feet are still dry. This area that we're walking through now is known as Goldsmiths Hill. It's not a hill, I don't know why it's called Goldsmiths Hill. We've come up no incline whatsoever. Anyway, we're making our way to Lyndhurst along the gravel paths today and a bit of road. Like I say, I don't really want to be straying from the gravel paths because it's going to be horrendously muddy, I'd imagine. Walked about 1.5 miles now. My sugar levels have actually gone up slightly, which is strange. I'm sure they come down again soon. You can never predict really with diabetes what your sugar levels are going to do sometimes. So you always need to stay alert, keep checking, use whatever means you've got, whether it be finger prick testing, which is a bit outdated now, but still a very important tool to use. I probably don't use mine as much as I should. I do tend to use the Libra sensor especially when I'm out walking, because it means I've got to stop, put my bag down in the mud, get my finger prick test kit out. It is a bit of a faff, so that does deter you from using it somewhat. I know in the past I've given the Libra sensor a bit of a hard time, I guess, but it is convenient, let's say, even if sometimes the readings aren't that accurate. Well, as you probably know, I do love to champion the New Forest. It is a very special, magical place. And that's the reason that I come out here so much at great expense. £11.70 on a train today for a return ticket. But like I say, it is a special, magical place, and when I do come out here, I just feel calm and relaxed. 3 hours before we get back to the hustle and bustle of our normal lives. It's an exercise that you can do at your own pace, your own speed. You don't have to overexert yourself. Just being out in the fresh air, getting that fresh air into your lungs, that's going to do you good. Not just for your body, but for your mind as well. It can take a toll. All that number crunching and, you know, just focusing so much on your healthcare. I'm not saying, you know, forget about it, but you need to live. You need to enjoy life. I've had diabetes for nearly 30 years now, and even now I get times where I get so frustrated with it. And it's those times that I like to put my boots on and just step outside the door, even if it's to a local park for half an hour. Just clears your mind a bit. Why are my sugars high? Why do I keep on having hypos? They're all questions that we ask ourselves all the time, I'm sure, with diabetes. Why is my sensor not working? Why is it telling me to come back in 10 minutes and check again? That one's really frustrating. So we're just approaching the wonderfully named Pinkerley Road. And we're going to take this road all the way into Lyndhurst. Alright, so we're about halfway down Pinkerley Lane now. Just like that name. The time is 10:40, so we've been walking for almost an hour and a half, and we've just done about 3 miles. So quite a slow walk today, really. I've been doing a lot of filming though, which kind of slows me up a bit. So it shouldn't be long. Another 15 minutes probably we'll be at Lyndhurst, and then we'll be have a little look around there and make our way back to Brockenhurst. Sorry, forgot to say, my sugars have dropped to 9.6 now. They're heading down quite gradually, and although I'm hungry already, I'm not really feeling the effects of them dropping yet. I'll let you know when I do. So here we are then. This is the end of Pinkerley Lane. I think we need to go down this way now. Follow this road into Lyndhurst, if memory serves me right. If not, we'll be going back the other way. Alright, so I've just stopped here at Bolton's Bench for a little bit of lunch. This is a beautiful place to sit, and especially on a day like this, sit down. Just had a couple of sandwiches. My sugar levels did drop to 5.6. Then once I started eating, they sort of levelled out, and they were 5.9 about 5 minutes ago. So I've made the decision not to take any insulin. I do still have a packet of crisps in my bag. So we did start, it was 11:15, sorry, when we stopped there. So I might just keep checking my sugars. I might take some insulin a bit later on after I've eaten a packet of crisps. Hopefully I won't need to. It's nice if you can have a day where you're not sticking needles in yourself. It's a bonus. Leaving Bolton Bench behind us now. We're heading up here, which I think this is called Whitley Hill or Whitley Ridge. And then we're going to walk along the ridge line to Matley Ridge. Then we're going to cross over the Beauty Road, which is on my right here, and make our way somehow back to Brockenhurst. Plenty of paths, we'll find a way. Well, look at this. You wouldn't expect to find this in the New Forest, would you? A sandpit. My parents brought me here when I was a young lad, and in turn I brought my children here too a few times. This is where we came and sat down and dropped our water bottle in the 20-mile New Forest hike and camp that I did back in August. So we're retracing our steps. Next week, in about a week and a half's time actually, it's mine and my wife's birthday, and we're going to take ourselves away to Tolpuddle in Dorset. We're going to spend 2 nights in an Airbnb. We're going to do a bit of walking and a bit of filming, obviously. And then on the Saturday night, we're going to see a folk singer called Gaz Brookfield. Seen him many, many times. Should be fun. He's doing a very rock and roll tour of nearly all, but not all, nearly all village halls. Keep an eye out for that one. That'll probably be posted in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm leaving Matley Ridge behind now, and the road. We've crossed over the Beauty Road, and we are now walking along this path, which, if I remember right, is very picturesque. Possibly a bit muddy. We shall see. So much for sticking to the gravel paths. Wow, look at this crazy looking tree. Looks amazing, doesn't it? So I've just checked the map on the Outdoor Active app, and I've decided to take this path, which brings us through Dennywood campsite. This is probably going to be our best option for our way back to Brockenhurst, which is probably about another 3 miles, I would think. Coming out the other side of Dennywood campsite now. Just going to follow this road until it runs out and we pick up a path. I have to say, although we're walking along a road here, this is blissfully peaceful. Well, looking here is my feet on the road and the birds in the trees. I hope the mic's picking that up. It's beautiful. Really enjoying this walk. Walked a total of 8.5 miles now. It's about 3.5 miles since we left Bolton's Bench in Lyndhurst, where we had lunch. And my sugar levels were still heading up. They went up to 11.7. So I've just taken 2 units of insulin. That's half my normal dose. I've still got the packet of crisps in my bag and some chocolate. So I think 2 units is probably about right. I didn't want them going any higher than 12, really. So that's what I've done. So I thought I'd just give you a quick update on the Revolution Race boots that I bought about 3 weeks ago. This is about the 4th time, I think, that I've worn them out. The other walks were quite short, sort of 5-6 miles. So this one's given them a bit more of a test. I like them. They're good. They're comfortable. Not the most comfortable boots I've had. That would be the Merrell Capras. They were just absolutely awesome. Not particularly waterproof. I would use those as a summer boot, really. And they were fantastic. They don't make them anymore, I don't think. I've not been able to find them for a long time. But they're about £160, I think. These Revolution Race were about the same, £169. These feel a lot tougher, if I'm honest. I think they're going to last longer. Not that the Merrells were poorly made. I probably did about over 1,000 miles in one of the pairs, the first pair that I had. I think that's pretty good going. Yeah, but I'm enjoying the Revolution Race boots. Like I say, they're comfortable. They feel very sturdy, well made. There's no stitching in them. That will be interesting to see if they give way in some other way. I guess they're kind of glued together. If the glue loses its integrity, it might be a different matter. But if anything's going to go on a boot normally, it is the stitching. Normally for me around the toe area. We'll see what happens with these. Alright, so I've decided to come off the main paths there to take this slightly quicker little shortcut. It's a bit muddy. Don't think I'm going to regret it though. I do find though, walking in this terrain, it can bring my sugars down, so I need to be a bit careful. You're just using your muscles more, trying to keep yourself upright, you know. So this should take us to link up with another footpath, which will then take us on to Standing Hat, and then from there we're down past Barmer Lawn and pretty much into Brockenhurst and back home. So the Diabetic Walker channel will be 1 year old in April. It's now coming towards the end of January, and for this I've decided I'm going to put together a collection of things that didn't actually make it to the videos. Some of the clips or some of the footage was never even turned into a video. I just didn't think they were good enough. You know, any kind of slips, things that I say wrong, which happens a lot. Yeah, you know, just funny little incidents, things like that. Funny little things that happen along the way when you're filming, like aeroplanes going over your head when you're trying to talk. That's fucking annoying. Yeah, so that's coming out in April. Should be fun. Now this bit of woodland here is where I stopped last summer and told the story of Harry Brusher Mills. I can't remember what we called that video now. I think it was 10-mile walk, lost in the New Forest, or lost in Brockenhurst, something like that. Anyhow, if you want to have a look back, you'll find it. Tell you what, it's very slippy coming down here. Could be another one for the bloopers video. Alright, so what I've done here is I've made the decision to miss out Standing Hat and Barmer Lawn. Wasn't a conscious decision, I just took a wrong turning. It happens. So we're going to come back through Hollandswood campsite, and then we'll be back on the road and back to Brockenhurst. So we're nearly done, probably another mile to walk I think, and we've done just under 10. So I think I said at the beginning that it would be between 10 and 12 miles. I wasn't far out, was I? So this isn't too wide, but there's no bridges across, so I'm gonna have to jump it. Yep, that one's not going to make it into the bloopers video. I think there's another one coming up though, so still got a chance here. No problems here. This one's got a bridge for us to cross. And here we are in Hollandswood campsite. Not open for another 3 or 4 months yet. April, May I think they open. Well worth checking out though if you've never been to the New Forest. Great links to the train station. There's a main road in that runs just alongside the campsite, which is probably the only downside to it, I would say. Can be a little bit noisy. I do hope that I've encouraged any diabetics to do subscribe to the channel, or if you've just stumbled across this channel and you're a diabetic, I hope that I've maybe inspired you to, you know, just step away from diabetes for a bit. Just concentrating on it all the time can just bring you down. So it doesn't have to be a walk. Whatever you like to do, you know, just step back from your diabetes and try and forget it for a few hours. Okay, so as we're near the end, I'm going to sign out here, I think. My sugar levels have dropped to 6.9. And I am starting to feel it a bit now. My legs are getting a bit tired. It's just over 10 miles so far. Probably just about top 11 by the time we get back to Brockenhurst train station. Really enjoyed this one, as always, pretty much. But this one I've particularly enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Keep tuning into the channel. Please give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it. And I've been Lee, the Diabetic Walker, and I'll see you on the next one.